Good morning, everyone. It's TB Shores. It's March the 13th, 2015. I want to try to redo the video that I removed, but I came across some new information that I wanted to add. So here goes. First of all, the verse that we were looking at in the previous video that I took down, it was being misunderstood, and when it comes to things of the Lord, I want to be clear. So I took it down so I could be more clear. So here in John chapter 13, verse 1. Before we read it, I'm going to back up a little bit and refresh your memory on how I came about the knowledge of this timeline that I did. Basically, it's where God had showed me about the bride, the backslidden, and the lost. And what he showed me was that things pertaining to Christ pertain to the bride. Things pertaining to him during the death, burial, and resurrection showed us things that pertain to the bride concerning the timing of her getting her white robe and being sealed in the protection of Jesus. Okay, now that's all about being covered in the blood, and that's what all Passover is about. So it only makes sense that him coming for us would come at the time where we see that the blood is required. Our salvation, being covered in the blood, is required to protect us from what's coming here. Okay, the important thing to remember when I explain this verse is that through what we've seen in the scriptures pertaining to Christ, from crucifixion to resurrection, gave me understanding about this timeline. So what God showed me was that is key in understanding this verse here. What pertains to Christ, to Jesus, is key in helping us understand what this is saying to the bride. Okay, it says, now, before the feast of Passover, when Jesus knew that his hour was come, that he should depart out of this world unto the Father. And I'm going to stop there because that is the main thing that the Lord is showing us here. And this is just simply saying that Jesus knew before the feast of Passover that Passover would be the hour when his time had come to depart out of this world. Because that is when it all began. The crucifixion to the resurrection to the 40 days before ascension. Okay. But what this is simply saying is that he knew before it happened when it would happen. And it was all about the time of Passover. And we see many of our messengers for the Lord posting things where he has indicated to them that it would be around the time of Passover or at Passover. We're seeing more and more that every day where messengers are putting this word out. I feel that's what the Lord has shown me, because when he took me to Leviticus 23 and showed me these dates and how they all lined up with this, which lined up with the timeline he had given me, I feel that that's what he was showing me. That this time falls at the beginning of Passover with the crucifixion. Okay? Having said that, if we look at this and how it pertains to the bride, it would simply be saying that the bride knows before the feast of Passover. Just simply that she knows before the feast of Passover that her hour is come, that she should depart out of this world. It's not saying that before Passover she will depart. It's saying that she knew before Passover that the hour was upon her. Okay? That's all that's saying here. Jesus knew before Passover that his hour was upon him to depart from this world. And I think the Lord is just confirming through this verse that the bride will know before the feast of Passover that the hour is upon her to leave this world. Now, I know people say nobody knows the day or the hour. And that's what Scripture tells us. We got to keep in mind that no, nobody has known the day or the hour. But I have always felt in my heart, based on this Scripture right here, that as the hour approaches, God's not going to leave his bride in the dark. He is going to tell her what to expect and what time frame to expect it in, based on this right here. It says, therefore, if therefore thou shalt not watch, I will come on thee as a thief, and thou shalt not know what hour I will come upon thee. Well, if you look at that as, okay, how does that apply to those who are watching? Because this is talking to those that aren't watching. Then it would say, therefore, if thou shalt watch, I will not come upon thee as a thief, and thou shalt know what hour I will come upon thee. It's talking about time frame, not a specific hour. And I've always felt with that verse that the Lord was letting us know there, that we would know as we got closer and closer what time frame that he was coming for us. And that's what this reiterates, that the bride will know before the feast of Passover what is going to happen at Passover, that the hour has come for her to depart from the world. Now, don't take this, I'm adding something to Scripture, because that's not what I'm doing. I'm helping you to understand how this applies to the bride, just as God showed me how this applied to the bride. Okay? Jesus knew before the Feast of Passover. He knew that his hour had come, that he should depart out of this world. And I think he's letting the bride know before Passover that her hour has come to depart from this world. And I'm going to cut this off here right after I show you this. I want you to go look at this video, because this video confirms what I just told you. And if it doesn't make sense to you, give me a message and I'll do the best I can to straighten it out. I love y'all. Bye-bye.